As ICE continues their raids across the country, people posing as ICE agents to do crime, yeah, they're becoming a real problem. Police in Southern California had arrested a man suspected of posing as a federal immigration officer earlier last week, the latest in a series of such arrests, according to a report in The Guardian. This is as masked plainclothes immigration agents have been deployed nationwide to try to meet the Trump administration's mass deportation goals. Remember, they want to get about 3,000 people a day arrested and deported. And they do not care if you're a criminal, if you're here with prior authorization, they're going to take that authorization away. And in some cases, they'll even deport you if you're an American citizen. Now, one of the impersonators, Fernando Diaz, was arrested by Huntington Park police after officers said they found a loaded gun and an official looking documentation with DHS headings in his car, according to NBC in Los Angeles. Officers were impounding the vehicle for parking in a handicap zone. When Diaz asked to retrieve his items inside, the police said among the items seen by officers in the car were multiple copies of passports not registered under the individual's name. Diaz was arrested for possession of the allegedly unregistered firearm and released on bail. The Huntington Park police chief and mayor accused Diaz of impersonating an immigration agent at a news conference. Diaz, of course, denies it, but it ain't looking good for him. Perhaps because his name is Diaz. They would look at him and be like, oh, that guy, obviously, he's not ICE, he's brown. No, no, I almost guarantee that if it were a white person that would, try to impersonate an immigration, an ICE officer, that might not catch on. So I'm just saying. Now, at a news conference, the police showed reporters papers that they had found inside his car with an official-looking U.S. and Customs Border Protection header. Now, look, this, of course, is what experts have been warning people about. Okay? After agents have been allowed to wear masks and plain clothes while carrying out raids from unmarked vehicles. This is not a stretch. This is not a surprise. Okay? Back in March, masked ICE officials had arrested a Tufts University student outside of her apartment after her visa had been revoked for simply writing an opinion piece in her university newspaper advocating for Palestinian rights. That in itself, I mean, that is dangerously authoritarian. It's unconstitutional. Whatever happened to free speech? Free speech doesn't exist anymore if the masked Gestapo can come in and disappear you off the street. And that's what happened. But it's actually worse because not only have they been doing this to people like Oster, right? But it's also emboldened those who are not ICE to go and disappear people or threaten people with deportation if you didn't do exactly what you told them to do, if they didn't do what you wanted them to do. In fact, in late January, a week after Trump took office, a man in South Carolina was arrested and charged with kidnapping and impersonating an officer after allegedly presenting himself as an ICE officer and detaining a group of Latino men. In February, 2 people impersonating ICE officers attempted to enter a Temple University residence hall. CNN reported that Philadelphia police later arrested one of them, a 22-year-old student who was charged with impersonating an officer. In North Carolina, in that same week, another man, Carl Thomas Bennett, was arrested after allegedly impersonating an ICE officer and then using that disguise or whatever to sexually assault a woman. Bennett reportedly threatened to deport her if she did not comply. In April, a man in Indiantown, Florida, was arrested for impersonating an ICE officer and targeting immigrants. 2 men reported to the police that the man had performed a fake traffic stop and then asked for these people's documents and immigration status. Understand, and there's plenty more. These are the brown shirts. Okay, these are the brown shirts. The people that are doing vigilantism, thanks to the Trump regime allowing agents to hide their identities. I mean, this very well might be by design. I mean, I'm gonna say it's by design, but I can't be sure. I'm gonna speculate. Okay, but and why would it be by design? To intimidate immigrants, and maybe even intimidate Trump's political opponents. I mean, impersonating law enforcement, yeah. Now, Mike German, a former FBI agent and fellow at the Brennan Center for Justice, told The Guardian last week about the killings of 2 Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota by a man that had dressed up and pretended to be a cop in order to get access. Here's what he said. Federal agents wearing masks and casual clothing significantly increases the risk of any citizen dressing up in a way that fools the public into believing that they are law enforcement so they can engage in illegal activity. It is a public safety threat, and it's also a threat to the agents and officers themselves. I'm not so worried about that last part. That's just me, though, because people will not immediately be able to distinguish between who is engaged in legitimate activity or illegitimate activity when violence is occurring in public. To me, this seems more like not a bug, but a feature. Okay, that's it. I mean, look, ICE agents, legitimate ICE agents, already have exhibited behavior that, if it were displayed by anybody else, would be criminal. Disappearing people off the street, coming up, without the correct types of warrants and just arresting people, waiting outside of immigration courthouses. They're doing all that stuff that would be criminal. And you know what? That's probably why they're wearing the masks. It's why they're in plain clothes. It's why they're in unmarked cars. And why I think that they do not care about impersonators. You know why? Because at the end of the day, it just makes their job of scaring the hell out of immigrants that much easier. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.